My name is Marcus Luck. I'm the boxer, promoter, and owner of Luck's Boxing Gym. And I promote Lucky Punch Promotions, where I give my fighters a platform to fight off of here out of Danville, Virginia. I do shows throughout the state of Virginia and North Carolina.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this?
I got back into boxing in '98, but I started as a youth when I used to box and stuff, but I had to take a few breaks from me playing football, basketball, running track and stuff like that. And then I went to college. And after a few injuries and stuff in college, I got back into the sport of boxing. I started back competing and stuff, and coming back home, working with the youth at the Boys and Girls Club. They kind of started following me around and wanted to box. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to box. And the next thing you know, I got 5 kids, 10 kids, 20 kids, and I started working with them. I opened up a gym, and it just led from there, It just pushed me to the destiny of working with youth because I was doing that anyway. So I used the sport of boxing to gravitate to pull youth off the street, to give them some positive, safe haven to come to and train. And as they progressed in training, and then they did amateur, and then they wanted to turn pro. So I knew how the game worked and the ins and outs of it. So I opened up a promotion company to give them a platform to showcase their skills and build their resume.
That's good. Okay. So what's it like in the day-to-day of being a trainer, as far as, I guess, like, how do you see the rise of stuff like MMA and the UFC? Do you feel like boxing still has like a competitive place, or is boxing sort of going by the wayside? Is it about to make a resurgence? You see YouTube people like Logan Paul
yeah.
and Jake Paul kind of putting the spotlight back on it.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always thought the YouTube stuff was a good thing, because what it does is brings the casual person who don't watch boxing to back understanding it. I mean, not understanding, but watching boxing and understanding the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because boxing's still number one. The boxing would never go down. MMA and stuff have its ups and downs and stuff, and you have this rise of a star, fall of a star. But UFC, I think the way they produce a product, you have one guy. But when UFC first hit, you knew everybody in there. Chuck Liddell, Hollywood, California Kid. It's like it's like now you have to have, I was like WWE-ish. You have to have a character. You got to represent yourself. Boxing is boxing, you know what I'm saying? It's the first sport back in gladiator days, hand-to-hand combat, you know what I mean? It's nothing like it, you know what I'm saying? I respect all sports, all combat sports, because I actually teach MMA. We actually do kickboxing and we do boxing. So it's not I don't compare it, you know what I'm saying? I enjoy all of it, But boxing resurgence is never gonna go anywhere, man. I mean, until people just get tired of violence. The difference is people want to see more violence. So that's where you're starting to get the MMA, the bare knuckle and stuff. I actually train bare knuckle fighters, Britton Hart. Britton Hart Beltrain, who's actually the flyweight world champion in BKFC. You know what I'm saying? Joy Beltrain, he trains here from time to time as well too. So we have bare knuckle fighters, we have boxers, we have MMA guys. It's a mix of all, it's respect, you know what I'm saying? It's like apple oranges, which fruit you like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but a lot of MMA guys cross over to boxing. Some boxers may do a little MMA, and then you got your bare knuckle who go in and out as well. So it's a good process of it all though.
So, talking about like the local boxing scene, how long have you been training fighters? And I guess, what do you think the potential for Danville, Virginia is? And are there any, or rather, who are the up and comers? Who are the people who've made it out of Danville, so to speak?
Yeah. Well, boxing has been around for a while. Believe it or not, Danville actually had a boxing team in the 1930s. It was a boxing team. They actually competed at the National Guard Army and at the Recreation Department. They had a stage, they had an auditorium, everything. We have a lot of good fighters. We got a lot of up-and-coming fighters. We have some old guys I used to train who still doing things. Giuseppe Cusimano, actually the WBC, United States heavyweight champion. Drew Carell, he's gonna be fighting for a title soon. He's really good. You have a lot of Ronnie Glass, Jaywan Woods, Darrell Wilson actually was on the upper stage. He was the first guy to beat Shannon Briggs, who was a heavyweight champion of the world, was here out of Danville, Virginia. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But now we're setting the stage for the newer guys. You know what I'm saying? We got the guy D'Angelo Evans. He's not from Danville, but he trains out of here. He started boxing out of here. I got different people from different areas, from Richmond, Jamorn Royster I'm working with. He's a great kid, national amateur champion and stuff like that. We're building his career right along. I got kids from the Virginia Beach area I'm working with. I got guys from the Northern Virginia who's calling me right now. So right now I'm just waiting to see how things unroll. We got the casino coming here in Danville, so I think it's going to give us a platform to do bigger and better shows and to bring more attention to the guys from this area. You know what I'm saying? Northern Virginia has a little popularity. Even the East, the coast, Tidewater area, they're big on the amateur scene, but they got some good fighters coming up out of there. They just need a platform to be on, and I'm trying to give them that platform so they can compete and compete competitively on a national scene.
Okay. Now, taking back, so do you still fight professionally?
Nah, I'm too old for that. When the recovery takes longer than to get ready, the preparation, it's time to stop.
So, if you think back to when you were, I don't want to use the word in your prime or the phrase in your prime, because man, I was watching you train those guys earlier, and you were getting it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can still handle myself, but we all know tonight I'm gonna soak a little bit,
Right. So now, if I heard you saying earlier that you had a fight coming up in February.
February, yeah.
About that?
Yes, I promote shows as well now, Lucky Punch Promotions. You can look it up on luckypunchpromotions.com. Right now, I'm working with, like I the kid Jamorn Royster, D'Angelo Evans, Drew Carell. Those are my 3 headline guys I will be working with. I got a couple guys from the Virginia Beach area. I'm gonna be working. I can't think of his name. I just went blank right quick. Rigo. I call him Rigo, but I was trying to say his real name. And William Townsend. And I got a couple of coaches who's reaching out to me who got guys who's going to be turning pro soon. And we're gonna try to, help jumpstart their career. Because if you don't have a platform to fight on, that means you're going to somebody else's platform, and you're not getting called in to beat their guys. So you're still trying to put these guys, give them a fighting chance to put themselves on a national level. So right now I'm currently promoting, working on a show to promote a show in Richmond, Virginia. We got 3 locations in mind. It's gonna be mid-February. So we're just looking for those dates right now. And we'll see the promotions coming out soon. Right now you just got coming soon. You see the guys who we are promoting, and we're trying to push out there to the next level. So right now we're just in the process of getting everything, the date lined up, talking to the coaches, talking to the fighters, getting these contracts out, and see who wanna fight.
And so, it seems like you wear a lot of different hats, and I'm assuming that you have so much experience in the industry that did you naturally take on those roles? Like, obviously at one point you were a fighter, and then now you're the trainer, and you're also the promoter. And does it ever, what's that like? Does it ever feel overwhelming? Do you ever feel like,
oh, every day.
Man, I need more people,
Every day. But the hard part is, and people don't understand this, if I give you a task and you don't complete it, then I gotta go back and do it in a rush amount of time, and guess what? Why I didn't do it in the first place? So, I mean, I do have help, but that's something that happened over the roll of time, because actually, me coming from college, I was still managing fighters before I started back fighting. So I was still managing fighters. So as I started back into the fight game, yes, I was still managing fighters, training fighters, and then I started getting back into the game myself, because I still stuck around boxing, and I was still advising people and doing stuff like that. So then in the process of people start calling you because you have a gym and you have fighters coming out the gym, like, hey, like, don't you have any fight? Like, yeah, what weight is he? Oh, blah, 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 blah. So you start learning how to negotiate contracts, talking to matchmakers, talking to promoters and stuff like that. So in the process of learning of how to do that, you start, okay, so when you got into the field of boxing, promoting, I actually stopped. I took the time to work with Don Elbaum. He told me a lot about the sport of boxing. I was in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania with him for a few years. He's actually the guy who started Don King off. If you go watch Only in America, he played himself. He's Don Elbaum. He played himself in the movie. He promoted big shows and did a lot of great things, helping Don King and stuff. And he was a good tutor for me. And then I also talked to a couple of friends of mine in the boxing game, Walter Johnson, Drew Stokes out of South Carolina, Stokes Promotions. And I got a lot of advice, so I had a lot of good people around me from me boxing. and from matchmakers that I talked to. So I started learning the business and understanding what I have to do and how to do things the correct way. And I want to give my guys a shot at having to build themselves the correct way in the sport of boxing.
And so now if we where do you see, it's a two-part question. Where do you see, or rather, what would you like to see happen with boxing as far as with your involvement? Is it, do you want to keep it on a local level? Do you want to take it nationally? I guess like sort of what's the
End goal.
end game? Yeah. Where do you ultimately want to take it?
Me, honestly, I like doing my local promotions. But my kids, I would like to have them on national stage. It's not, like I said, it's not about my notoriety anymore. I've boxed, I've coached. Right now it's for the next generations. And I want to see my kids have a great career and be successful and get the things they deserve out of the sport of boxing. If I can get them to the next level, then they can pull me along with them, you know what I'm saying? But it's more about me putting them to the forefront to show what I can produce through the sport of boxing. With the knowledge I have, I'm gonna pour into them, and hopefully we can carry over. We can produce something out of this region to say this is home base. This is not something, I grabbed a fighter in the peak of his career, something like that. No, we developed that guy, we built him, and we turned him into that world champion.
Okay. Last question. So you got the gym, you got the fighters. What's the next thing that you feel like you need in order to, I guess, get to the next stage of Marcus Luck and Lucky Punch Promotions? Now, what's like the next thing that you need as far as like, is it more fighters? Is it, you tell me what's the next thing you need?
We're constantly getting fighters daily. It's just work. This region have a hard time getting the good work we need.
What do you mean?
The quality of work. Like a lot of gyms in this area don't like competing with us or come spawn, giving us
training.
Yeah, training. Yeah,
Training. Okay.
yeah. So we have to hit the road. So we're always on the road to get training. Like I tell people, you can't always be a teacher. You got to be a student. And if you're not a student in this game, how can you learn? Because once you become a teacher, that means you know everything. You don't know everything. You got to always be a student. So like we got plans on going up to D.C. We got plans to go to Baltimore. We got plans to go to Philadelphia to get some competition on that next level competition. And like people say this term loosely, is levels to this. But this is one sport there's truly levels. You know what I'm saying? You can be a big fish in a small pond. But take you out to this lake, then guess what? Right. And if you go to the lake and you're the big fish in the lake, then you got a sea. Then you got an ocean. You know what I'm saying? There's always new levels to level up on. And that's what you have to do. You have to seek out competition. You got to train until your idol becomes your enemy. And that's what some people can't do. When they get to that level, they look at, oh my God, I'm fighting Mayweather. And then they're more mesmerized with the image of him than competing with him. Your idol, you have to want to fight your idol. When you coming up and you see this kid who's tough, like, man, he's good. Now you're chasing his dreams, though. But you got to chase him to the point that, guess what? Now you're in front of him, now you got to fight him. What you going to do when you get to that point? Even Mayweather, I can't remember the Mexican kid he always idolized. That's who he won his first world champion against. He was almost cried because that was his idol he had to beat, Larry Holmes to Ali, that was Ali's sparring partner. Mike Tyson looked at the fight when Larry Holmes beat Ali, and he said, I'm gonna get him back, and he went, so those are the goals you wanna reach, and those are the goals you wanna react to. You gotta chase those goals. You can't look at that person and put him in a God image. No, you gotta chase, that's the guy I want. I want the guy to the top, because that's what level you need to be on.
And so, I appreciate the interview.
Mm-hmm.
Where can people find you? And,
Well, I'm on all social media. My Facebook is just Marcus Luck. And you can follow the Lucky Punch Promotion page or the Luck's Boxing Gym page. And then we also have on Instagram, Coach_Luck_M. You go to Snapchat, Lucky Punch Promotions, Luck's Boxing Gym. Just reach out. You can keep in touch with me on Instagram, on all the social media. And then we also have our website, which is luckypunchpromotions.com.
And any last words that you want to say to the world? Anybody? Or?
Yeah, just to keep a lookout for us, man. We got some good guys coming up. We have a fight coming in February. We'll have the date locked in pretty soon. Headlining the card, we'll have Jamon Royster, is a kid out of Richmond, Virginia. Drew Carell here from Danville, Virginia, and D'Angelo Evans out of Durham, North Carolina, who actually trains here in Danville, Virginia.
Okay. All right.
In this area.
All right. Cool. All right. Hey, thanks, man.
All right, thank you.
I really appreciate it.